Good morning everyone. Today we'll be discussing about leprosy, the case definition and the clinical examination of a patient of leprosy. Now what is leprosy? At the 7th meeting of the WHO Expert Committee on Leprosy in 1997, a case of leprosy was defined as an individual who has not completed the course of treatment and has one or more of the three cardinal signs. 1. Hypopigmented or erythematous skin lesions with definite loss or impairment of sensations, involvement of the peripheral nerves as demonstrated by definite thickening with sensory impairment, and skin smear positive for AFB, that is acid fast bacilli. Now how do we classify leprosy? Leprosy can present with predominantly neural symptoms or mainly with cutaneous involvement. In ancient India it has been called Vatrakta, denoting the neural component of the disease, Arun Kushta denoting the cutaneous form of the leprosy. In ancient times, the first international classification, that is the Manila classification, was given in 1931 by Leonard Wood Memorial, characterized the disease into cutaneous, neural and mixed type. The Madrid classification of 1953 classified leprosy as maculoanesthetic macules, lepromatous macules and intermediate macules. In the following years, many similar classifications came up where the term cutaneous was replaced by lepromatous, that represented a widespread involvement of the skin, and the term neural got replaced by tuberculoid, representing raised lesions with neural deficit. So over the years many classifications came. Lepromatous and tuberculoid were regarded as polar forms. Widespread discontentment among the leprologists about maculoanesthetic lesions and pure neurotic cases was there. Then came the Indian classification in 1953, given by Indian Association of Leprologists, proposed by Dharmendra and Chatterjee, similar to Madrid classification. Then came the most important and significant Ridley and Joplin classification of 1962, which is accepted globally, and it is the spectral classification for research purposes. Then WHO classification of 1982 also classified leprosy as paucibacillary form and the multibacillary form. So these two are the most important classification systems that we will follow. The Ridley-Joplin classification was given by William Joplin together with D.S. Ridley proposed this classification. It is referred as the immunological classification, and this classification is based on the bacteriological, immunological, histopathological and clinical features. It believes in the spectral and polar concept of leprosy. There are two polar forms, that is tuberculoid and lepromatous, which are stable, and immunologically unstable or borderline group, that is borderline tuberculoid, borderline and borderline lepromatoid. This is the classification, Ridley-Joplin system. This is the tuberculoid and lepromatous, the polar forms. These are the middle forms, that is borderline tuberculoid, borderline and borderline lepromatous pole. BB is the most unstable form. These forms transform into each other by upgrading or downgrading reactions. Clinical, histopathological and bacteriological and immunological features show slow continuous change from one pole to another. What are the advantages of Ridley-Joplin classification? So leprosy is a disease of a wide range of clinical presentation, course, prognosis and complication. This classification helps to characterize different types of leprosy based on correlationships of various parameters. It is widely used for research purposes. It also strengthens the spectral and the polar concept of leprosy, and it also gives us an idea about the prognosis of a particular patient. Now, according to the cell-mediated immunity and bacterial load, so this is the TT pole and this is the LL pole with the most immunity, that is highest immunity, cell-mediated immunity, and LL pole has the lowest cell-mediated immunity. Whereas talking about the bacterial load, the bacterial load is highest in the LL pole and lowest in the TT pole. The mid poles, that is BT, BB and BL, are the unstable forms which transform into each other. What is the drawback? there is no place for indeterminate and pure neuritic leprosy in this spectrum. Now, WHO classification for leprosy control, this is another classification given by the World Health Organization. It is used for mainly treatment purposes. It segregates into two groups for treatment purposes. The less vacillated patients could be treated with lesser number of drugs for shorter time, and the more vacillated patients can be treated with more drugs for a longer period of time. So it divides the leprosy into paucibacillary and multibacillary forms. Based on the number of skin lesions in 1998, the paucibacillary single lesion leprosy, paucibacillary leprosy 2 to 5 lesions, and multibacillary leprosy consisting of more than 6 lesions. So this is based on the bacterial load. We do the slit skin smear of the patient. If it comes out to be positive, it is characterized as PB or multibacillary form. MB, and this is, if it comes out to be negative, it is considered as paucibacillary consisting of 1 to 5 skin lesions. Presently in India, the number of nerves is also taken into consideration while characterizing the patients into paucibacillary and multibacillary types. It is given by NLEP, that is National Leprosy Eradication Program of Government of India. Now, types of leprosy. First, we talk about TT, the tuberculoid leprosy. In this, the lesions are 1 to 3, and it is characterized by annular lesions which are well-defined erythematous plaques with raised clear-cut edges, and the surface usually is dry, hairless, anesthetic, and usually scaly. The peripheral nerve is also involved, leading to sensory loss. There is no AFB found on the slit skin smear, and the lepromin test is strongly positive as the immunity is quite high. So these are few pictures of TT. Now BT, the number of lesions are 3 to 10. The lesion similar to TT, but there is evidence of the disease not being contained, and there are presence of small satellite lesions. Here we can see these are some satellite lesions present. There is loss of sensation, dryness, scaling, erythema or hypopigmentation. So these are the satellite lesions. Again, then comes the BB pole, borderline. This is the most unstable, and it is quite short-lived, rapidly shifts to either forms, either to BL or BT. Mostly downregulates towards the lepromatous pole. It presence of dimorphic type of lesion, especially the inverted saucer type or punched out appearance, and giving Swiss cheese appearance. These are the inverted saucer shaped lesions, and this is the characteristic Swiss cheese appearance. The skin smear show moderate number of acid-fast bacilli. Now we come to BL. It is a diffuse type of leprosy. It is characterized by more than 30 skin lesions and numerous ill-defined, and it is usually symmetrical. Infiltration is there of the skin. It is the eyebrows involvement can lead to loss of eyebrows. Systemic symptoms also can be present. More prone to develop type 2 reactions, that is ENL, and many AFB can be seen on slit skin smear, and lepromin test is negative. Now we come to LL. There is symmetrical involvement and innumerable small infiltrated shiny erythematous macules with indistinct edges. It is infiltrated lesions as 3 distinct forms: diffuse, infiltrated and nodular forms. These are few pictures. Leonine faces, infiltration of the skin folds giving rise to a lion-like face. Then infiltration of the lobule of ear giving rise to an appearance of Buddha ear. There is loss of eyebrow, nasal collapse, lumpy earlobe. Then comes the indeterminate leprosy. It is medium to large hypopigmented, which are patches which are faintly visible. This is a classical case of indeterminate leprosy in a child. Now there are special forms of leprosy called as lucioleprosy, histoid leprosy, lazarine leprosy. Another form is pure neuritic leprosy. There is area of sensory loss in absence of any skin patch along the distribution of an involved nerve trunk with or without motor deficit. The neuritic manifestation can be in form of tingling, heaviness, numbness, paresis, hypotonia, claw hand, wrist drop, foot drop, neuropathic ulcers, bone resorption, most frequently found in India and Nepal, and it accounts to 5 to 10% of all leprosy cases. Now this was all about the leprosy types and the case definition of leprosy. The skin lesions can help us differentiate between the various forms of leprosy. The next class will be about clinical examination of a case of leprosy. Thank you for your hearing. Thank you.